Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Brew. My name is Donovan, and today we're going to talk about a few different breweries in the nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario. After talking to some of the locals and looking around on Google Maps, it appears that there are over 30 different breweries in the Ottawa area. And as much as I'd like to see them all, my schedule or my body just doesn't have the time for it. So we're going to hit 5 or 6 up today. So let's just get right into it. Number 1 is Beyond the Pale Brewing Company. They are located in Hintonburg, about a 6-minute drive from downtown Ottawa. You walk up to this place and it's quite large. Massive outdoor patio. When you walk in, you notice a backyard style of like picket fences and seating. This place it's really big on the inside. There's a lot of high ceilings, a lot of industrial tones with the brick and the black accents on the staircases. And one thing that's really cool about these guys is that they're open at 11 a.m. on a weekday. And that's pretty good for me when I'm trying to plan a brewery adventure day, because I probably would have been able to go to about 2 or 3 more breweries that day if more were open before 5 p.m. But we are living in a world where everyone is short-staffed, so I get it. In terms of what kind of beer they specialize in, I think they have a bit of everything, but I would say from their menu, they probably like to brew stouts and IPAs more than others, and my favorite beer was a stout. It was called the Dark and Picante Mexican Chocolate Imperial Stout, and right away you're hit with some spiciness from this beer, and as it developed, it had like a lovely rich and chocolatey finish, and does not look or seem like those two things or flavors would go together at all, but it sure did in this beer, and it was super unique. That was fun. You should try it. Hit up Beyond the Pale. Number 2 would be Braumeister Bierhalle. Now I'm pretty sure my German is horrible, because I would read it like Braumeister Bierhalle. Braumeister? I'm purring. Das ist sehr gut. Braumeister Bierhalle. Anyway, they're really close to Beyond the Pale. They're also in Hintonburg. They're located on the ground floor of like a fairly new condo building, and this brewery is pretty much all wood and it looks awesome. They got a mix of modern and vintage finishings coupled with some very alluring German landscape art. It makes you feel like you've walked into like a warm, welcoming German beer hall in the Alps. It is a Bavarian-inspired beer hall and garden, and they have 2 locations in the Ottawa region. We went to the one in Hintonburg, and you order pretty much as soon as you walk in the door, and their beer menu consists of 5 different beers that they have on tap. And it's pretty simple. Half a liter or 1 liter. No flights, no none of that. Half a liter or 1 liter. But the beer options consist of a Marzen, a Helles Blonde, a German Golden Ale, a Munster Style Ale, and a Hefeweizen. I had a liter of the Summerfest Golden Ale, and it was super crushable in the sense that it's got some really nice citrus and mandarin notes, but it still felt like an easy, lighter drinking beer. Absolutely delicious. I feel like if you're the person that wants to try a bunch of different styles of beer, like a stout, a porter, a sour, IPA, all in a flight, then Braumeister really isn't that place. What they do is they specialize in Bavarian beer styles, and what they are going to offer you is a super great vibe inside and on their patio, and they're going to have some really great beers for you and your friends to crush any day of the week. Crushing pints is a term that I absolutely love. I don't use it enough because I feel like I don't say it cool enough. If I was going here on Friday night, summertime, patio's open, I'd be telling my friends that we are going here and we are going to crush some liters. Spark Beer. They've been around since 2020, not too long. They are located in the Chinatown district, closer to downtown, and it kind of feels like this used to be a Chinese restaurant, I'm not gonna lie, but I dig it. Spark Beer, they updated their interior, and there's a bunch of modern features like a geometrical chalkboard, contemporary tap area, and like unique globe lights, and it's extremely inviting. I would say that their beers are pretty unique. They love the funky and tart beers. Their Till Tuesday Plum Sour was barrel aged for 18 months. The Nene Lime Goso was packed full of citrus flavors. The Mannheimer Berliner Weiss was just so full of cherry sourness flavor, it was delicious. And their ominous hazy IPA was it was to die for. So this is one of the few places we visited on our trip that looked to specialize in sours, goses, saisons, and it was great because it didn't feel like a lot of breweries in the Ottawa area were specializing in that type. I mean, they had a few pale ales, an oatmeal stout, a lager, very delicious 8% double IPA, but I found them to stand out in the tart department. Their atmosphere was really inviting, and I could see myself having a great night in there, trying every single beer that they have to offer there. Flora Hall. Now, Flora Hall is located in the Centertown area, really close, just outside the downtown core. Flora Hall, the building, was built in 1927, and it was an automotive radio repair business for over 50 years. In 2016, Flora Hall Brewing was born, and they did a complete renovation of the building, and I must say, it's impressive. As soon as you walk in, like, you can tell that a lot of hard work went into Flora Hall. The warm and ambient lighting reveals like a very welcoming tap room with an amazing contrast of wood and dark metal, and that continues all the way up to the second floor. As for their beer, I was at a point where I'd been to 3 breweries throughout the day, drinking a bunch of different styles and having a flight at each one, or having a liter at Braumeister. But for Flora Hall, I just wanted to grab a glass of their Northeast IPA. And oh my God, like, it was absolutely amazing. I went back to look at my tasting notes, and past Drunk Donovan really helped me out with this one. Yeah. Thankfully, there's the Untapped app, and after taking a quick read, I have the following description to share. Big body and moderate sweetness, juicy flavors of mango, pineapple, apricot, peach derived from hops and yeast esters, hazy appearance. Flora Hall was probably the coolest place I've been to in Ottawa. I've only been there twice, so I don't have a whole lot of time spent there, but I would say it's a must-see when you're there, or if you go there. When reading more about the brewery online, it sounds like the owner spent a lot of his life traveling the globe, looking for the best places to eat and drink and seeing what they have to offer. And they really put a lot of thought into their beer and their kitchen, so though I didn't eat there, I would go back for dinner and drinks in a heartbeat. Calabogie Brewing. Calabogie Brewing has 2 locations. The first one is about an hour drive west of Ottawa on Calabogie Lake, so I would imagine that that's their original location. We went to the one in Canada. It's a suburb southwest of Ottawa. Canada is where the Ottawa Senators play, so we were able to check these guys out on our way to a hockey game. Calabogie Brewing, they had a unique, bright and rustic vibe going with all of the corrugated paneling that made the wood and red walls pop quite nicely. Tons of beer tanks as you walk in, and like great food to go along with their delicious beer. I had a flight there, and it definitely helped me get rid of my hangover. All of their core beers were super delicious, but I would have to say their front porch Kolsch was my favorite. Just crisp, clean, you know, maybe a little bit of citrus in there, and it just gets you ready to get back into some more beer. So that really helped out. Also, there was a really cool Christmas market going on when we were there, and people were selling a bunch of different locally crafted goods, and it really felt like this brewery had a unique feeling of family and community. It was a place where young families could come with their kids and friends and share some food and drinks together, and I really like that. Nita Beer Company. Nita Beer Company was the last brewery on our trip, and it arguably had the best name, Nita Beer. We were able to check these guys out before heading out to the airport, so we got there right when the doors were unlocked on like a Sunday morning. All the chairs were still turned over. We had the place to ourselves completely, so it was kind of cool. We were just able to hang out with one of the owners and talk a little bit about the beer scene in Ottawa. She was super friendly and had the cutest dog ever. As for their beer, my 2 favorites was the cherry sour beer and espresso stout, both full of flavor, extremely delicious. Now, this is like day 3 or 4 of having like a lot of beer. I should have taken a couple more notes on this one. Nita Beer Company was just a nice little cozy spot that probably has a number of loyal locals who you would run into all the time there, and they have one of the best little coasters I think I've ever gotten. It's like a little bottle opener in there, so thanks so much, Nita. This is amazing. Ottawa really does have some amazing craft breweries, and I hope that this video provided some insight as to what you might expect when you are on your beer journey in the nation's capital. Now, I did miss out on a few breweries. I really wanted to get to them, but when you're trying to schedule certain areas that have certain breweries, but they don't open until a certain time, but you gotta move on, you hope you get to it the next day, but you might not. It's too bad. There was 3 or 4 that I really wanted to, but all things considered, I'll go back and hit them up eventually. It is what it is, and I am super happy with every single spot that we were able to explore. I hope you guys liked this video. I had a lot of fun making it, so feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more breweries and all things beer down the road, and I will see you guys in the next video. Some people like to hike up the mountain. I personally enjoy taking the gondola because this is the most fun thing in the absolute world.